there is this interesting yet very odd mining training method related to Forestry that was just released this week. I'm not sure how long this will last, Jagex might decide to remove it later on. I will update the video comments down below if that happens, but basically you can get 65,000 mining experience per hour just crafting these padded spoons, which are used in Forestry. The trick is, you can train mining in bank now, which is insane to even say out loud. The only downside is that this is so freaking expensive, and I think it's also gonna be one of the reasons why Jagex will not remove this training method, because you genuinely need hundreds of millions of GP just to do it for 1 hour. One egg cushion currently goes for around 30 to 40k each. It does spike up and down depending on the time of the day, which means you need to spend 40,000 GP just to get 38 mining experience. So it's roughly 1 experience equals 1k GP. I did like 4 inventories of this and I genuinely spent like 5 million GP just to test it out. Oh, and also you don't get any money back from this. So yeah, we technically have a mining training method that can be done in GE and all the other banks in the game, but it's super expensive and not affordable to the regular players. But there is also upside to this. You can start selling these egg cushions back to the GE for rich people to buy. Like I said, they're currently 40k each, and honestly they don't take that much to get. Usually 1 event equals 1 cushion, which takes like 2 minutes to complete. Also, the other ingredient for this mining method is limestone, and that item has jumped up in price insanely high. It was like 200 GP before Forestry came out. Now it's over 1.3k each, which is insane, and it's super easy to get them as well. You just come to this Mauritania store, which sells thousands of them for basically free. I use Mauritania Lakes 3 to teleport, and I think that's the only viable method because the Morton teleport currently costs 15k each and is just too expensive. But yeah, 1 inventory of limestone takes like 20 seconds or something like that. And if I go sell that inventory to the GE right now, you can see they sold for 1.1k each. Just like that, I made almost 30k GP in less than a minute. It's currently estimated that because of Forestry, getting limestone is like 5 million GP an hour, so take advantage of this while you can. Other than that, you can mine limestone yourself if you're really low level and don't have quick access to Mauritania. The best method I found was using the dig site teleport, running to the limestone mine myself, making a full inventory of limestone, and then banking and repeating the process. Obviously profits are not that, but I think because of Forestry, the demand is so high right now that I would definitely recommend doing this. And if you're looking to find what's the best items to sell from the Forestry store, it seems like most items are pretty equal in value, which is approximately 100 anima infused bark is 20k GP, give or take. The egg cushion I showed before is a little bit cheaper, but honestly I would just look up the GE prices for all the new events that were released with the second Forestry update and then just buying whatever item sells for the most money. For me it was the Trap Disarmor blueprint, but these things might change in the future. Oh, okay, let me show you one more moneymaker related to Forestry. I promise you it's very decent moneymaker, and then we'll go look at the Forestry expansion itself. So there is this item called Forestry Ration, which is used with the new 2-handed woodcutting axes that came with the expansion. It's kinda like using charges. You swing your 2-handed axe and you need the Forestry Ration to make it work. Well, to make the rations, you need to use woodcutting leaves and any sort of fish. And there is one good combination that is super profitable right now, which is using magic leaves with pass. Basically how the process works is the higher tier leaves you have, the more rations you can cook. And since the ingredients aren't that expensive, you can make some nice money off it. Players are willing to pay premium prices for these rations, because they need their AFK woodcutting time that the 2-handed axes give you. Oh, and also they give decent cooking experience as well. You can get up to like 100,000 cooking experience and it's fairly AFK. Just use the magic leaves on the pass and you have like 1 minute of AFK time. When I sold everything I made in like 2 minutes, it was like 40k GP profit, but keep in mind that I bought all the ingredients for the highest price just to showcase this method, and I insta sold them, which cuts my profit a little bit. For example, I also tried this yesterday and the profit margin for 2 minutes of work was 60k GP, which was really nice because it's like RuneScape players' dream here. Decent experience, good money, and AFK. Okay, let's talk about the Forestry expansion itself and try to discover it. The first thing I would highly recommend before you even start Forestry is joining a CC that calls out events. There is a plugin in RuneLite that helps you immensely, and it's called Forestry CC. And the entire purpose of the plugin is to help you track all the events wherever you go. Before we get to the plugin though, there are two main clan chats if you want to get the best events possible. One of them is Roots CC, which is mostly for World 510 and EU players, and the other one is Forestry CC, which is World 444 and is mainly for NA players. Now, if you join for example the Forestry CC and also had the Forestry CC plugin, they will start calling out events in various locations, and these locations will show up in your taskbar. For example, I see in the friend chat that someone calls out sapling in Volcano, which means the struggling sapling event, and it also shows that in my taskbar as a notification. Since I'm very close by, I might as well go complete the event, because it's free currency for not a lot of work. This is also why I would highly recommend doing these events in a forestry world and not solo gameplay, because not only you get up to +10 woodcutting boost when you're with other players, you also get a lot more events, which equals to more items or money. For example, if you play solo, you're estimated to only see up to 4 events per hour. But if you play with a group of people, you can double that up to 8 events per hour. And you can even double that if you run around woodcutting hotspots. Like my go-to method was just running between these 3 spots near Sears Village. And I genuinely saw an event every 3 or 4 minutes. There were cases where I managed to get up to 20 events per hour doing either clan chat method or just running between Sears Village hotspots. There's also a few other hotspots for woodcutting like Midskild for magic trees, Trainer Village for willow trees. I saw a lot of people in Prifddinas woodcutting yew trees and mahogany trees. There's also a group of people always in Natives Knot near the yak pen cutting trees. So you have options. If you want a little bit more AFK, just stick to one spot and go with that. Or if you want more activity and more anima infused spark, you can run around between those hotspots and find events almost instantly wherever you go. If you are using the Forestry CC plugin, you can see all the hotspots for woodcutting in the plugin, and you can choose which ones you like to get notifications for and which ones you want to turn off. For me, I always notice that Natives Knot is just so far away for events and I don't make it in time, so I just decided to turn it off. Also, I noticed that in certain locations there are these permanent campfires, so if you don't like banking your logs, you can just use them on campfires to gain some fire making experience. In fact, I noticed a lot of the fires around Gielinor that can be turned into campfires that were useless before Forestry came out. There's one near the Moss Giants in the Fishing Guild, there's also a fire near the Volcanic Mine, and there's also one near Yanil. All of them weren't available before this update, so this might be useful to some people. Okay, the next item I want to talk about is the Twitcher's Gloves, and I think they're absolute game changers, especially for Ironman accounts. So what they do is give you better chance for getting specific bird nests that you want, and before this update there was this consensus that it takes years to complete the Abel's Chicken outfit, which can only be obtained through bird nest and getting bird eggs. Well, now you can use these gloves, right click them and say, hey, I want to get bird eggs, and the grind that usually takes years to complete for average player now takes few weeks. Just in the matter of hours, I got almost 10 bird eggs, which otherwise probably would have taken me days if I did birdhouse runs or just normal woodcutting. There's also an item called Strong Rabbit's Foot, which boosts your chances of getting bird eggs even further. Oh, and also there is an event with saplings that is guaranteed to give you a bird egg 100% of the time. So basically getting these gloves for Ironman is a lifesaver. And it doesn't only work with bird eggs, the other useful option is clue scrolls or seed nests, both very useful for Ironman. Oh, and another quick tip, if you had the money and options, I would highly recommend getting the Lightbearer ring while you're woodcutting with Dragon Axe, because it restores your full special energy in 2.5 minutes. And since the woodcutting buff lasts for 3 minutes, you essentially have an infinite +3 woodcutting buff with the ring. Also really good for other dragon items like Dragon Harpoon and Dragon Pickaxe. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the RuneLight plugins and some other ways to help you gain more currency and experience per hour. Let's start with the woodcutting plugin itself. This helps you find all the possible events and solve them for you. It basically does all the hard work for you so you can get maximum anima infused spark and experience per hour. Like good example is the 3 Roots event, because oftentimes there's just so much going on that it's just hard to find 3 Roots with extra anima infused spark, and this plugin basically solves it for you. Then we have things like Pheasant event that shows you where the next available egg spawn will be. My personal favorite is using the woodcutting plugin during the struggling sapling event, because I always forget the abbreviations, so when someone in the chat calls out RBM, I can just click on the correct tiles and don't have to worry about messing up. Or for example, one event that I really have hard time figuring out is the flowering event. It's sometimes hard to find the right ones, but this wood cutting plugin solves the flowering event for you. There's also a Runelite plugin called Object Markers, which does allow you to manually highlight all the forestry objects like the rainbow in the leprechaun event, or for example during the poachers event you can highlight the traps to see them better. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I am thoroughly enjoying forestry right now so much that in fact I've gotten over 1 million wood cutting experience in the last few days. And I've been just socializing and having fun with other players. Plus, you can make so much money with this expansion that it's just something for everyone. But that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you all tomorrow with another one. I love you all very much. Bye.